Hi, I'm David Gassaway. On this episode of Talk Around Town, we're going to bring you an update literally on Lopes Road. I'm out here today on Lopes Road with Jason Riley, our principal engineer. Jason, thanks for meeting me out here and giving everybody a little update on Lopes Road. So where are we at in the process?
So right now we've submitted our application documents to Federal Emergency Management Agency as well as the Federal Highway Administration. Those are currently being reviewed. Concurrent with that, we're in the design phase. So we've hired a company called Dewberry Engineers to start preparing plans and specifications for the project, and they are about 35% complete.
So there's two federal agencies involved, and that's, I assume, for money purposes, right? Because I know about FEMA, so what are we gonna see with the transportation agency?
So with the FHWA, our roadway is actually eligible for those funds. So the two water lines that are out here, the City of Benicia and City of Fairfield water lines, are not eligible for transportation money. So we're seeking FEMA money for the utility work.
So, all of it started because there was a big landslide. So maybe describe a little bit, what happened with the soils and really what caused it to bust the two water lines.
Sure. So what we found through some of our preliminary investigation is that this soil has a very high clay content, which means that it retains a lot of water and it becomes very slick when it's wet, almost to a liquefaction. We had several very large storm events that saturated the soil here from the top down. On top of this hill is a small little pond, seasonal pond. So that pond water began to percolate through the soil, liquefy the soil, and mass started to move down the hill.
As that moved, how much movement did we see?
Over a period of a couple of weeks of monitoring and some mud cleanup, debris cleanup, the roadway actually moved 12 feet toward Interstate I-680 here.
Wow, that's quite a bit of movement. As we're walking along here, I see, there's a couple pipes up at the top and there's a couple pipes here. What are those pipes for?
Yeah, so there's two water lines, as I mentioned in here. The 30-inch City of Fairfield water line that leads from a pump station just north of us up to a reservoir at the top of this hill. As well, there's a City of Benicia 36-inch raw water line that delivers water from the north all the way to the City of Benicia water treatment plant.
Okay.
So our line, the City of Fairfield's line, is a redundant system. So we're able to turn our line off in this section and still provide services throughout the Cordelia area. The City of Benicia, however, this is their primary source of water. And that 36-inch line couldn't be down for a very long period of time. So the City of Benicia undertook a project to put in these 4 12-inch pipes as a temporary measure to reestablish their water system in a very short period of 10 days. So the City of Benicia was on water conservation and the water system was down and using other sources for a period of about 10 days.
Okay. So as we're working with the federal agencies and doing the design work to get what needs to happen ultimately to fix it, get the roadway back open, get the water lines back up and operating.
Yeah, so as our applications through the FEMA and FHWA process are being reviewed, we have early started our design. We're hopeful that we can get the design completed by the end of November and start bidding the project for construction. Again, we're going to be in a wet period in January, February, March. So likely the project, the reconstruction of this roadway and water lines would happen early spring. So we're looking for April to start construction and hopefully be completed with construction late next summer 2025.
So how will we ensure that it won't happen again as best as possible?
In order to mitigate this, we know it's a reoccurring issue. We know that the soils are slightly unstable. So in order to mitigate this, we're going to build a soil wall along the backside of the roadway, basically injecting a cementitious material into the soil, hardening that material and resisting the pressures from uphill.
Okay. So it'll prevent things moving down low, right, where the water lines will be some soil could come over, right?
Correct.
We'd have to clear it from the roadway, but the roadway, the water lines, all that stuff will be sort of encased
Correct.
so that it doesn't move anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. How long a construction project are we looking at?
We're estimating approximately a 6-month construction window in order to get the mitigation, the soil blending in, reconstruct those water lines. Of course, the water lines are the primary concern, and then reconstruct the roadway. One of the keys to this project is relocating the City of Benicia and City of Fairfield water line out of the area that's sliding and into the area that's protected by that new soil wall. So those water lines will actually be in the roadway. So roadway will be the last component to be constructed.
Hopefully by the end of 2025, we should have the roadway back open, water lines. I know City of Benicia definitely on the water lines, but I know residents, particularly in the Cordelia area, they want to see the roadway back open. In terms of cost, how much of this is ultimately going to be borne by City of Benicia and City of Fairfield versus the federal agencies that step in with some of that emergency assistance funding?
Yeah, so we're estimating the current construction cost estimate for this project is about $9.7 million. We're anticipating that 80% to 90% of that money will be reimbursed by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the Federal Highway Administration, as well as the CalOES, California Office of Emergency Services. So they have a small component of the local match as well.
Okay. All right. So mostly being helped out by other agencies. So that's great.
City of Fairfield is actually coordinating the design as well as the construction. We're going to be bidding this project on behalf of the cooperative work with the City of Benicia. We've entered into an MOU, a memorandum of understanding with the City of Benicia for repayment of the portions of the project that are the City of Benicia's costs.
Okay. Well, that's great. Real good partnership there as we're working through this. All right. Well, Jason, anything else that we should know about the project or that you want to tell us?
No, the only thing I would like to mention is that this is a very highly complex project with lots of different moving parts, literally, as well as different funding sources. It's taking a bit of time, and we genuinely appreciate the public's patience as we move through this project. We know this is a major thoroughfare for cyclists, recreational cyclists. We appreciate that, and we are doing our best to get this constructed as soon as possible.
Excellent. Well, Jason, thank you very much for giving us some information and a little update on Lopes Road. For Talk Around Town, I'm David Gassaway. Thanks for joining us.
To view more programs like this, follow the City of Fairfield on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.